It's interesting how some of the most intense love stories we experience are exactly the ones that don't last. Have you noticed that? It feels ironic. How can you feel so much for someone, and still, the ending seems inevitable? The truth is, not every love is meant to last. And as hard as that is to accept, that's exactly where the key to your freedom lies. Because once you understand what a karmic relationship truly is, everything starts to make sense. This kind of connection doesn't show up to complete you, it shows up to wake you up. It's like the universe places someone in your path just to flip the light on in a dark room within your soul. And once that light is on, there's no going back to who you were before. But why do these relationships hurt so much? Why do they feel so real, yet end up breaking us from the inside? And more importantly, how do we turn that pain into wisdom? If you feel like you've been through a love like that, overwhelming, confusing, intense, and yet, impossible, stay with me. Because what you're about to discover might just change the way you see every relationship in your life. Even the ones that haven't happened yet. 1. What is a karmic relationship? Karmic relationships aren't just intense romances, they're reunions of souls marked by unresolved stories. You know that strange feeling of already knowing someone, even though you've never spoken a word to them? That's not a coincidence. It's an echo from another life, a spiritual reunion with a greater purpose. What many call love at first sight might actually be the beginning of a deep journey of healing and release. And that's why so many of these loves start with passion and end with powerful lessons. Anyone who's been in a karmic relationship feels everything on the surface of the skin. It's as if the other person holds the key to every emotional trigger you've got. Moments of deep connection are followed by explosive conflict. At times, the love feels so real that you're convinced you've found your soulmate. But then you realize, this relationship doesn't bring peace, only reflection, a mirror showing the wounds that still need to be healed. These bonds aren't made to last in comfort. They exist to shake you, to confront you, to reveal you. Yes, they're spiritual. These are lessons the heart doesn't learn from books, but from scars. Imagine an unfinished story coming back like a scene from a movie the universe decided to replay, but this time, the ending has to change. That's exactly what a karmic relationship is, a chance to finally close the cycle. But don't be fooled, it's not easy. It often feels like being trapped in an energetic field that pulls and pushes at the same time. And that's where the signs start to show, the unmistakable clues that what you're living isn't just another romance, but a powerful spiritual connection. 2. The 5 signs of a karmic relationship. The first sign hits like a movie scene, a magnetic, immediate attraction that defies logic. You look at the person and feel like you've known them for centuries. This invisible force pulls both of you urgently, as if there's a mission waiting to be completed between your souls. This kind of connection goes beyond chemistry, it's pure energy. It feels like fate, but it hides a deeper purpose, healing. And usually, where there's karmic love meaning, there's also emotional chaos. The second sign is relentless intensity. You love and hurt each other with the same force. Emotions run at full volume, with rare moments of peace that feel more like brief pauses before the next storm. In these relationships, the feelings are real but unbalanced. They're emotional roller coasters designed to reveal deep wounds. It's here that people begin to question, twin flame versus karmic relationship, why does something so powerful feel so wrong? The third sign is one of the most painful, repetitive cycles. You break up, then get back together. Again and again. It's like something bigger is controlling your steps, preventing a final closure. This loop happens for a reason, the lesson hasn't been fully learned. The universe is insisting on the teaching. A practical example. Couples stuck in endless cycles of blocking and reconciling for years, thinking timing is the problem, when actually, the spiritual mission remains unfinished. The real challenge here is knowing when to let go, and understanding why letting go sets you free. The fourth sign is awakening through pain. As contradictory as it sounds, this is the true value of a karmic relationship. These connections push you toward a mirror, one that reflects your shadows, fears, and unhealed traumas. You start to observe yourself, question your behavior, and rethink your patterns. This is when the spiritual connection in relationships reveals its true power, not to keep the couple together, but to guide each person toward their own awakening. Books like The Body Keeps the Score or Women Who Run with the Wolves can be helpful companions on this journey of deep self-discovery. Finally, the fifth sign, the end is inevitable, but liberating. When you understand the message behind the pain, something shifts inside you. The bond that once felt unbreakable starts to weaken. It's like your soul saying, I get it now. I'm ready to move on. And even with tears in your eyes, there's peace in your heart. This ending is not a failure, it's freedom. It marks the beginning of breaking karmic cycles, and that alone transforms the path of anyone who's lived this kind of love. But what really happens when we finally learn to let go? 3. Why they are not meant to last. Not every love is meant to stay, and that's the biggest paradox of karmic relationships. The connection is real, the feelings are intense, but the purpose isn't to last. It's to transform. And that's hard to accept, especially when the heart wants to hold on. But the universe has its own plans. It brings two people together not to live happily ever after, but to awaken one another. It's the kind of love that doesn't bloom, it burns, and in that flame, it burns away everything that no longer serves you. The true goal is spiritual awakening through love. The kind of awakening that pulls you out of your comfort zone, showing you where you still sabotage yourself, where you keep repeating patterns you thought you had overcome. The karmic relationship signs are clear evidence of this hidden mission: excessive jealousy, feelings of emotional dependency, deep imbalances. But all of this is in service of healing. And even though it may seem cruel, the end of this journey brings the relief of someone who survived a storm with stronger wings. When the cycle closes, there's a different kind of silence, not the silence of abandonment, but the silence of understanding. It's as if the universe is saying, the lesson has been learned. And at that very moment, your freedom begins. Breaking this kind of bond is an act of self-love. A rite of passage. And for those brave enough to live through and let go of a karmic relationship, what comes next can be even more transformative. 4. What comes after? After a karmic relationship, no one comes out unscathed, but no one comes out the same either. It's as if the soul goes through an invisible surgery. You feel like you've lost something big, and at the same time, you know something inside you has been reborn. In the first days, there's mourning. The absence of presence, the silence of the other, the confusion of, what now? But gradually, the rebuilding begins. And with it, a new awareness that transforms everything: your choices, your boundaries, your desires, even the way you love. This is the moment when life offers a major turning point. When you're away from the storm, clarity arrives, and it reveals that the love, as destructive as it seemed, was actually a disguised spiritual gift. You start to see the karmic soulmate signs as steps that led you to find your true self. You begin to value solitude, peace, and the silence that once bothered you. More than that, you start to sense that the next love, if it comes, will come at a different pace. Without drama, without games, with lightness and truth. Because only after breaking karmic cycles can healthy love arrive. A love that doesn't hurt to teach. That doesn't confuse to prove it's real. And it's in that space that you can finally experience the true spiritual connection in relationships. But for that to happen, you need to let go of the past. And believe me, when that healing happens, the universe rewards you in ways you never imagined. If this content touched something inside you, don't ignore it. Because when the soul recognizes a truth, it resonates, even if that comes with pain. What you experienced wasn't imagination, a mistake, or a waste of time. It was a spiritual movement, guided by something greater. Sometimes, the universe messes things up on the outside to fix what was broken on the inside. And though confusing, this is one of the greatest acts of love it can give you. You know what's even more curious? Many people go through this and never truly understand what happened. They carry guilt, trauma, and repeating patterns. But you've made it this far. And that alone shows your awakening. The pain of a karmic relationship ending may seem cruel, but it's like a portal, a call to something higher, more conscious, more real. And the deeper you go on this journey, the more you realize true love was never about the other person, it was always about you. Now, take a deep breath. Look at everything you've been through with gratitude, even if it still hurts. Because amidst the broken pieces, there is gold. There is wisdom. There is light. And it's in this new version of yourself that the next chapter of your story lives. A story where love doesn't trap, confuse, or destroy. A story where love teaches, heals, and stays. Tell me in the comments, have you ever lived a relationship like this? Felt that intensity that seemed to come from another lifetime? If this video brought you clarity, subscribe to the channel. We still have so much to explore about spiritual awakening through love, karmic cycles, and spiritual connections. And turn on notifications, because the next video might be exactly the answer your soul has been searching for. Don't forget to watch one of the videos I've left on the end screen. See you in the next love-filled content.